Good evening and welcome to CYC News for today, the 21st of June 2015 AD and the 14th of Paoni 1731 AM. I'm Andrew Botros.
And I'm David Nada. His Holiness Pope Tawadros II receives the Swedish ambassador and the Lebanese Prime Minister. His Holiness Pope Francis speaks about the lives of Christians against oil and weapons. Queen Elizabeth honours Bishop Angaelos and Nemat Shafik. Egyptian embassy celebrates appointment of General Bishop in northern France. Catholic organisation launches international campaign for Father Jack Murad, and Pope Francis believes Egypt plays an important role in confronting terrorism and religious extremism.
To Coptic Orthodox papacy news, where last Wednesday His Holiness Pope Tawadros II received Miss Charotla Sepa, the Swedish ambassador in papal headquarters at St. Mark's Cathedral in Egypt. His Holiness also received Mr. Nelson, the Deputy of the Missionary Chief, and Peter Wadeford, the head of the Swedish Institute in Alexandria. The visit target knowing each other, and a dialogue was about good relationship between Egypt and Sweden. His Holiness also received the Lebanon Prime Minister in the papal headquarters, where the dialogue contained talking about peace, love and accepting one another. The Lebanon Prime Minister was accompanied by some of the ambassadors and ministers.
To Catholic papacy news, where His Holiness Pope Francis has spoken out about the lives of Christians being sacrificed and not honoured. He said that the lives of thousands of Christians, including families, women, men, children and the elderly, exceed the prospects of human interests and should weigh more than oil and weapons on the scale of economic interests. While greeting participants at the ROACO's 88th Plenary Assembly in the Vatican, headed by Cardinal Leonardo Sandri, the Pope highlighted the situation in the Middle East, calling for denouncing everything that touches human dignity. He called for an additional effort to remove the implicit agreements calling for peace and justice that at the same time allow traffickers of death to operate in those lands. In a reference to Iraq, the Pope underscored the situation of displaced Christians in the Nineveh Plain in Iraq.
Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II has awarded prestigious honours to Dr. Nemat Shafik, Deputy Governor of the Bank of England, and His Grace Bishop Angaelos, General Bishop of the Coptic Orthodox Church in the United Kingdom, for their outstanding service to British society. According to a statement issued Saturday by the British Ministry of Foreign Affairs, His Grace Bishop Angaelos had made an officer to the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire for his services to the international religious freedom. Originally from Alexandria, Dr. Shafik has made a Dame Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire for her services to public administration and the global economy. The honours awarded to Dr. Shafik and Bishop Angaelos come as part of the Queen's Birthday Honours List, published on date of Queen's official birthday. This list honours those who have made achievements in public life and committed themselves to serving and helping Britain. Honours are awarded to those who make a difference to their community, or work, improving life, helpless, or display moral courage.
Over to France now, where the Coptic Orthodox Church of the Virgin St. Mary at Châtenay-Malbry is celebrating the arrival of Bishop Mark to the French capital. Bishop Mark will be ordained on May the 23rd as a General Bishop for Paris and Northern France churches. His Holiness Pope Tawadros II is performing the ordination. Egypt's ambassador in Paris, Ihab Badawi, congratulated Bishop Mark for his appointment and praised the Copts' adherence to their religious teachings and Eastern traditions, in addition to their love for their nation and Muslims and their tolerance and openness. Ambassador Badawi concluded that the Egyptian embassy and its members of all sectors do their best to serve all the sons of the Egyptian community in France. A large number of the sons of the Egyptian community, media channels, representatives of Eastern and French churches and Châtenay-Malbry municipality, and French figures, including Jean-Christophe Boussel, the French Foreign Minister of Religious Affairs, and the advisor attended the celebration.
To the Netherlands, where last Sunday the Netherlands Diocese celebrated over past 2 days the second anniversary of its establishment, and it celebrated the enthronement of H.G. Bishop Arseni, General Bishop of Netherlands. They started the ceremony with holding the Divine Liturgy, as it ended with a word of thanks by H.G. Bishop Arseni. The ceremony took place in the Cultural Centre building that is extended from the Cathedral of Our Lady in Amsterdam.
Catholic organisation Aid to the Church in Need announced it will launch an international Twitter campaign on the 21st, titled Prayers for Father Murad. Father Jack Murad, head of the monastery of St. Julian and pastor for the town of Karatin, 60 kilometers southeast of Homs in Syria, was kidnapped by an armed group on May the 21st. The monastery headed by Father Murad belongs to the monastery of Mar Musa al-Habashi, which was founded by Jesuit priest Paolo Dall'Oglio, who was also kidnapped on July the 29th, 2013 when he was in Raqqa. According to AKI news agency, Aid to the Church in Need said in the monastery statement, 1 month after the abduction of Father Murad, we call on everyone to pray for him, and at the same time for all Christians and the entire Syrian people. Father Jihad Yusuf, a representative of the Mar Musa monastery, north of Damascus, said, "Prayers are important for Father Murad, for the Christians of Syria, and also for many Muslims who are the first victims of fundamentalism." Father Murad had written in a letter to the Papal Association last year, "Our commitment towards Muslims is just a simple expression by the Church that rushes to the aid of everyone, the poor, the sick, criminals, sinners, and the oppressed."
Egyptian ambassador to the Holy See Wafa Basim said Pope Francis will visit Egypt this year, but the date is yet to be determined. She told Al-Ahram newspaper Sunday that Pope Francis, through his interviews with Egyptian officials and the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, believes in the pivotal role of Egypt in building peace and in confronting terrorism and intellectual and religious extremism. She mentioned that Pope Francis praised Sisi's initiatives concerning the renewal of religious discourse. She said Pope Francis also believes that the Egyptian people's participation in 2 revolutions against different regimes, searching for justice and a better life, indicates that they are aware of the significant role of their right to live in peace, stability, and democracy. Sisi, in his capacity as a head of the Egyptian state, invited Pope Francis to visit Egypt during Sisi's visit to the Vatican last November. The Egyptian presidency also sent an official invitation signed by Sisi for the Pope to visit Cairo. Sisi's visit to the Vatican in November was in response to the invitation of Pope Francis. President Sisi has also praised the effort of Pope Francis in defending humanitarian issues, which he considered mutual objectives aiming at prevailing moderate thoughts and confronting wrong concepts that destroy communities.
In Syria, a statue of the Virgin Mary as well as other historical artifacts have been replaced to their place of origin in the town of Malula near Damascus, according to SANA, the Syrian Arab news agency. The Melkite Greek Catholic Patriarch of Antioch, all the East, Alexandria and Jerusalem, Gregory III Laham, said that the ceremony held at St. George's Church, which had been damaged by terrorists, symbolizes the resurrection of all of Syria. Sana reported that Patriarch Laham also thanked those who helped recover the stolen artifacts, adding that both Muslims and Christians would work together for human dignity. A Hezbollah leader, Dr. Ali al-Muqdad, attended the meeting, and many attendees thanked the party for helping to liberate the town, which had been under Islamist control since September 2013. When the Takfiri elements took over, they destroyed the St. Hekla convent and the icons and artifacts contained within them.
We are all responsible for the horror and uprooting of the divine Levantine Christians, and we must stand in solidarity with them to change our approach in dealing with our crisis, said the head leader of the Syriac League, Habib Afram. Afram's remarks came during the meeting held in the Syriac Orthodox Archdiocese in Lebanon in the presence of Bishop George Saliba, Iraqi MP. In a statement released on Wednesday, according to the Lebanon Files, Afram said, "Let us take steps to put pressure on the governments of Western countries to comply with the principles of dignity and freedom due to the human being and reject the logic of marginalization, hatred, massacres of this age." According to the statement, the meeting touched on the situation of Levantine Christians in Iraq, Syria and Lebanon on the Holy Synod Conference, which was held in Damascus, and on a historic meeting which will be held Thursday at the Vatican between Pope Francis and Patriarch Ephraim Karim.
The failure of the Iraqi government and the Kurdish regional government to expel the Islamic State a year after Mosul's occupation shows there is no real will to liberate the city of IS. Christian Iraqi MP Gundam Khanna said the Iraqi government also refuses to allow Christians to withdraw their money deposited in governmental banks. Khanna told Radio Free Iraq Sunday that tens of thousands left Iraq after they were displaced from their houses and after facing a cruel life due to high rents in Kurdistan. They went to Turkey, Jordan and Lebanon, he said. He criticised the International Organization for Migration for playing a negative role by encouraging them to emigrate under the framework of reunion.
And that's all for CYC News today. Stay tuned for more Christian content on CYC. I'm Andrew Botros.
And I'm David Nada from the CYC studios in Sydney, Australia. Good night and God bless.